Hey YouTube, coming at you with the Beyond the Hype for Drapion. So Beyond the Hype is cutting through the clickbait of the new Pokemon and getting right down to the actual nitty gritty details of whether it's strong, why or why not it's strong, stuff like that. So Drapion, Drapion got a Poison Sting buff, and the Shadow version is ranked 21 on PvPoke, and the regular version is ranked 39. I used it as a switch today. I used it as a switch today, and the Shadow Drapion is number 2 ranked as a switch. And honestly, it felt number 2 worth behind for Alligator. And you're gonna see in some of these matchups just getting ahead, like 1 or 2 Poison Stings, and then being able to just Aqua Tail or Crunch is so fast is so good. So Poison Sting got a little bit of a buff. Now, so let's look at stat product. Let's look at typing. Let's look at moveset. Stat product, is okay. It fits the sort of close to middle bill here. 118 attack, 136 defense, 117 stamina, so 1892 overall, right? So a little below that 2000 stat product we like to see, but with a little higher attack stat there than your 2000 bulky Pokemon, it fits the bill of your Sableyes and your a little attack heavier than Quagsire, but Quagsire to Sableye, bulk and spamminess and range there. The Shadow version obviously is going to increase your attack by 20% and lower your defense by 20%. So you become not a glass cannon because your moves don't hit hard enough, and you're not glassy enough to get taken out by one moves constantly. So you're like just borderline on that edge there. So like most of the time one moves will not take you out, but sometimes it'll put you low enough that you could just get like fast move down. And same thing, the attack is definitely helpful, the attack increase, but because Crunch and Aqua Tail are not hard hitting moves, you're never going to one-shot anything. You probably need 2 moves. But Poison Sting got buffed, so it was always a very, very fast energy generating move, so 4.5 energy per turn. But now you're doing a little more damage, so damage got increased. You got stab on this, same type attack bonus. You got shadow bonus on this, so the Poison Sting does go at 2.8 H damage per turn, which is not great, but it's not bad. But it's pretty good when you combo with 4.5. And then what makes this one of the best save swaps is just how fast you get to the moves. Aqua Tail, if you're running that, 4 Poison Stings to the Aqua Tail, 5 Poison Stings to the Crunch. The Crunch is the go-to default move. 100.8 damage, 30% chance of lowering your opponent's defense. So at a 2.24 damage per energy, Crunch is just a great move. So when you use this thing as a save swap and you potentially get 1 to 2 Poison Stings ahead, and you're at 100 damage move in like 3 turns after, like 3 2-turn moves after, like this thing charges fast. And you're just gonna see how spammy it can get and how crazy it can get. Poison Dark is also a kind of a great typing. Unfortunately, it has one weakness, Ground, which seems to be everywhere right now. So the Ground weakness, and then single resisting Psychic, Poison, Grass, Dark, and Ghost. So okay to mid stat product. Great fast moves. Great combo of moves here, right? Fast move, charge move. I didn't even cover Aqua Tail. Aqua Tail is just your very, very quick, kind of baity coverage move. So 35 for 66. I've been throwing that at obviously Waters, but Grounds, Clodsire, you're going to see a few of those there. And anything that where Crunch is resisted. So other dark Pokemon, stuff like that, you throw Aqua Tail. But for the most part, like whenever both of these are neutral and you can get to one, obviously just throw the Crunch. So mid-stat product, good movesets overall, and then really good typing. So I use it as a safe swap on a team, and I decided to go ABB week 2 Ground. Right, Drapion only has one weakness in Ground. We just saw that. So what I did was I used 2 Pokemon of the same typing, and Chesnaught as the answer to resist Ground. Chesnaught's actually... It takes super effective from Poison Sting, but if you see a Clodsire with Earthquake and Stone Edge, you resist both those moves, so it's not bad there. So basically, you safe swap Drapion, try and draw out a Ground type Pokemon, try and spam it with Aqua Tails, right? And Ground is weak to Water, so spam it with Aqua Tails. Try and flip switch if you can in certain situations. Otherwise, try and grab Shields. Chesnaught does well, and then qwilfish to sweep. So that is the strategy. Let's get into the battles. Malamar leads, so get an instant swap here into Drapion, obviously resisting the Psy Waves. Ariata Crunch, right? This thing is just you're gonna see this often. It's just gonna be a lot of spam. and I'm at an Aqua Tail, so I throw the Aqua Tail. It could be a Superpower. Superpower is neutral. And again, your Shadow and these Psywaves, even though Psywaves are resistant, you can see how much they're adding up here. So again, when you take that 20% damage reduction, when you take a 20% off your defense, you obviously are way, way glassier. So got baited the first time, shield up the second move. So what I'm doing here is I'm poison stinging, and then I was like, oh, why don't I just come here? And then because this poison jab, like poison sting's fine, but poison jab does way more damage, and I can get to a shadow ball here. So going a ton of damage on poison jab, not counting, like I don't get hit with the move. Obviously, I would throw the shadow ball if I knew that was happening, but I didn't. So come back in here with Drapion. Poison Sting, Crunch is resisted, but hopefully I can get this low enough that I can Poison Sting down. And if I do, coming out with a ton of energy, very valuable. Having like a ton of energy, they make the instant swap catch. So really nicely done. Throw the Aqua Tail, ends up landing on the Malamar. But guess what? I'm still freaking loaded. So first Aqua Tail coming through. Chips again. It's non-stab, so it's only gonna do so much here. But hopefully this is 3 Aqua Tail range here. Here comes the second. And now it's just a race. I'm going to force them to throw, because if they don't, I'm going to get a third move off here, and then they have to shield. So they're going to have to throw. And of course, I run into the one that has Sludge Bomb. So now I basically need to try to get to 2 superpowers here. So get hit with a super effective move, because why are they not running Stone Edge Earthquake? I don't know. But guess what? I'm at back-to-back moves. This will lower my attack, but that's okay because they are super low. I'll win CMP on the second one here. And superpower for the win. So chesnaught into Sandslash. Bad lead. Again, Drapion with poison. Steals are a little tricky, but you have superpower on chesnaught. You can spam crunch and stuff like that. They decided to come into a fairy. That's a decision against a poison. They probably saw that dark and just like, oh, dark fairy. But no, I'm half poison and I have a poison type fast move. So you neutralize the charm, being poison dark, and you can spam these Aqua Tails. And that's exactly what's going to happen. Here comes the third Aqua Tail. I've already grabbed one shield. There's the second shield. Can I get to another move? No. But I do have a qwilfish. And they decide to throw another charm. They probably already had a move, but now they get trapped in the 3-turn animation. And then they come in, they're double fairy. So at this point, I'm just like, okay, qwilfish is probably my I was going to say win con, but that's not true at all. But then they come in here and I get to a superpower. This is just a mess by my opponent. Quite honestly. Like Sandslash should have been like the win con in their end, and they just messed it up hard. So now I'm going to get Frenzy off and take this out. That was more my opponent screwing up over me doing anything there. Okay, Golurk, decent lead. Actually, really good lead. Because Grass is super effective. The Mud Shots are resisted. Mud Bomb. Yeah, Mud Slaps. It's a mud move, I know. Okay, Licky comes in. Gonna get off the superpower and probably bail here. So superpower lands, which is great. I let them move. I overfarm a bunch because I know Body Slam got nerfed. And obviously I'm gonna start regretting it soon. Okay, so I do smart there. I mentioned how Body Slam on Gastrodon is garbage because it doesn't get same type attack bonus, but you get the same type attack bonus on Licky, so those Body Slams don't suck as much. The Mud Slap is obviously going to delete me because I am weak to that. Again, I really don't want to take Chesnaught's not super glassy, so I can take one Shadow Punch, and I do, but now it's just like, even though these moves are resisted, those moves resisted are coming in real hot there. They got double normal team. Bad move timing on me. Unfortunately with qwilfish running, I feel like I would maybe run it does have access to Dark Pulse, or I think it's got some sort of dark move like Dark Pulse or Foul Play, something like that. I think you might want to run that over Shadow Ball. There's so many normal typings. You're gonna see my A Marowak. I did that. That'll be tomorrow. you're going to see the A Marowak and just the absolute problems that you run into with A Marowak with this meta, unfortunately. So I superpower back to back. And now, unfortunately, because I lowered my defense times 2 and my attack times 2, one fast move does not take them out, but one will take me out. So bad lead, but I got 2 poison types in the back. Again, they're half dark, so these are still neutral. They come in with this low kicks. Law kicks. I don't even know how to pronounce this. Never used it. I've seen it in the comments to use it. I throw the Aqua Tail and that lands. I'm like, oh, this thing is very glassy if an Aqua Tail does over 50% to you. And now I grabbed 1 shield. And now when you can get 2 Aqua Tails in 4, you just stand and spam this thing, especially that they're this glassy. So again, the poison stings are now starting to add up because they are buffed, and the Aqua Tails are adding up really quick too. I am trying to flip switch here because I'm trying to get my qwilfish on their onto their Clefable. They decide to come in for Alligator. I throw the Crunch. Shadow Claw's resisted. Holy Crunch, how much damage that does, right? That's what we like to see. 100 plus damage on a Shadow for Alligator. Basically almost takes it out. Forces them because Shadow Claw's resisted. I can now just come in here comfortably. Take that out. I expect the Clefable to come back in, and I'll get into the qwilfish here. Now, qwilfish is glassy if you haven't used it before. So, oh, they're dumb. But even so, a non-stab Swift, like if they threw Moonblast, I would basically be taken out here. A non-stab Swift does like 40%. So they come in, they get farmed down, and now I'm going to get to the move Shadow Ball to take them out here. Okay, another very bad lead, but that's okay. We have answers. Licky Licky. And here we go. Now it is truly the spammy Pokemon race. Rollout and Body Slam are going to come quickly, but so is Crunch and Poison Sting. So they're going to get to a move. It's just Body Slam. I'll live 1 Body Slam. It's a Licky Licky. Here comes a Crunch. So again, when you get like a 1 to 2 poison, this is why this thing is so deadly. When you get a 1 to 2 poison sting advantage, it's great. Now I think this thing spams maybe just as fast. Yeah, see, so I overfarm. If I did 1 in Aqua Tail, I would have not had to shield this. So I think that's probably where I messed this game up. If I did 1 poison sting in Aqua Tail last time, I probably would have grabbed a shield or taken them out, as opposed to having to shield, and now they can just let this go. It wouldn't have taken them out. Okay, I wouldn't have taken them out anyways. And now Machamp comes in. Crunch is resisted, so you have to throw the Aqua Tail. Don't really want to get farmed down, so let's see if I swap out of here. Okay, one Karate Chop. Okay. Everyone in the comments yesterday said you can tell the difference between Karate Chop because Karate Chop looks and counter because Karate Chop looks like it goes downwards. And I don't know if I'm just old. My eyes are pretty good, but this does not look like it's going down to me. So let's see this again. So they said the Karate Chop action is different than the counter because Karate Chop like punches down and there's an animation. I should be able to see it, but I still don't see it unless I'm like not know what I'm looking for. So it still looks like counter to me. Let's look at it again here. So I guess it's that like swipe visual. This is at 1.5 speed, so it's tough to see. But I'm guessing they're talking about that like swipe visual. Yeah, I see it. I see the yeah, okay. I see the little light animation sort of thing going down there. So I guess that's what they're talking about. Now they come back in Whimsicott, and again, this is one where I'm like, oh, yeah, even if they get to a Moonblast, I can survive this. And spoiler alert, I cannot. So again, had I known that, I would have thrown the Aqua Tail, and then I would have got to a move here and taken them out. But now I can't. So, yeah, that's just me not knowing how much damage stuff did to qwilfish. I've used it in the past. I remember it's glassy, but clearly did not remember enough. Okay, bad lead. But again, we have 2 darks in the back, so we go there, and out comes a Dunsparce. And again, race of these spammy safe swaps here. So getting the Crunch off. Well over 50%. Just going straight Aqua Tail. Going to start forcing their shields, putting pressure on them. Grab one shield here. Now they do have Drill Run. Drill Run will be super effective, and I think they're going to get to 2 moves before. So if I can shield this, I'm going to have to commit 2 shields right away, because there's no point of shielding up one and not shielding up the second one. So that is exactly what I'm going to do. I will commit the second shield. But now I think I could just out Aqua Tail this, right? So truly a race of the spammy Pokemon. Here comes the Aqua Tail, enough to take it out. If the Oranguru comes back in, I will have a super effective crunch for it. I can now get the Qwilfish aligned. It is a Whimsicott, so I think I'm going to sacrifice something here. Yep, I'm going to bank all that energy and sacrifice Chesnaught, because Chesnaught is useless. My poison type users in the back are the answer to winning here. They eventually come in and catch on Oranguru, which is fine. Everything was resisted that I was going to throw, so I might as well land a neutral Frenzy Plant here. And if I can get to a superpower, and they're trying to farm down, so I'll just get to a Frenzy and force a shield or take this out. Both are pretty good situations. My switch clock may be up soon. Nope, they let it go, so okay. I'm going to win CMP over Whimsicott. Whimsicott's more defensive. So grab a shield. I had another move, but obviously with CMP, they're going to get a move off and take me out. But now I can just Poison Jab down. So even if they have a Moonblast here, I should live. Yeah, not much though, right? Not much. Chesnaught versus Umbreon. This is an okay lead. Superpower is obviously super effective. They have their own Qwilfish. So what you're seeing right now is me trying to figure out, okay, what do I do with this situation here? I think it's worth just throwing a Frenzy to do neutral chip damage here, or grab a shield, so I can like try and keep alignment. I assume it'll have a water move and something. That something is an Ice Beam. So the Ice Beam lands. This Crunch should land. I doubt that they're going to double shield this. Holy Glassy. 1 HP. It lives, which is brutal. I am shielding because I'm... why am I shielding? Why wouldn't I just take the advantage with the shield and the other Pokemon here? Especially that I have no move except for Aqua Tail here. I don't like what I'm doing here. I probably should have let that move go and save 2 shields for Qwilfish and Chesnaught. Like the point of Drapion, like I understand if you want to shield Drapion up in certain situations to try and like flip switch, or you've got like a ton of energy you want to like burn, like throw. But I don't know about that shield. But again, here we are. They are farming up a ton, but I've just basically Poison Stinged and non-stabbed Aqua Tail and Umbreon to the deep yellow, which is in itself is pretty good. And what is in the back? A Clodsire. So I'm playing this wrong. I'm doing the exact same thing that I've yelled at people who submit battles to do. Don't take the super effective move on one to then just go into the other. So at least I'm not going into the other. Poison Sting is super effective on Chesnaught, and the Earthquake is super effective on the Qwilfish. So the worst case scenario would be just let them get all this damage on Chesnaught and then take it on the Qwilfish. So at least I took it on the Chesnaught, forced the resisted Stone Edge. They bait me with Stone Edge there too. Obviously Earthquake's a little more is way more damage and super effective, but it costs more. And the non-stab Aqua Tail, not enough to take out, and they live with 1 HP. So again, with that shield earlier, with that beta Stone Edge, with taking it all on Chesnaught, like this seemed like a very winnable one here that I feel like I let go. So Machamp. Machamp is an interesting one. What do I do here? Maybe Superpower and Bail? Take a move here? What am I going to do here? It's kind of a tricky one, because if they have energy here, coming in here, one Cross Chop will not take out because of all the reasons that I mentioned in my video yesterday. Go check that out. But they're spammy, but yeah, so am I. 4 and 4. Here's the race to the 4s. Aqua Tail and Cross Chop, and holy freaking smokes. 1 HP for the 4th time in 9 battles that I've uploaded here. Actually, it's only been 8 battles because I think I have one more coming up. So 3rd or 4th time in 8 battles, they survive with 1 HP. Oranguru comes in. Hello, Dark Poison. Dark, so for those of you who don't know why it's single resisted, Dark double resists Psychic, but Poison takes super effective against it. So double resistance, single super effective nets you single resisted. That is how it works. And they have a psychic normal typing, normal double resist ghosts, and psychic takes super effective from ghosts, so that nets single resisted. So instead of doing single resisted Shadow Ball, I'm throwing the Aqua Tail. And now they come in with the Clodsire because Clodsire is friggin' everywhere. So get the Aqua Tail off. Again, we're just going to spam. We're going to do this properly. This is how you're supposed to do this. You stay in with the Qwilfish, take those resisted poison stings, throw the moves, and then take the resisted charge move on your chesnaught with the Stone Edge or Earthquake both being resisted. Yes, that is correct. That is how you play that correctly. Get the Frenzy Plant off. This will be enough to take out. What do they have left? The Oranguru. Can I get to a move? I can. Vine Whip, Superpower, spam enough to take this out. So we have one more battle here, and then I'll do my final thoughts on Drapion. Obviously, you can tell by my tone and early, I think it's very, very strong. Medi comes in. It is running Psycho Cut, because that's why you can see the resisted. And now I know this is Dynamic Punch, because if you're running it, you're running like Ice Punch, Dynamic Punch, or Dynamic Punch Psychic. That is how that's how you run Psycho Cut Medi if you're going to use it. So they land it. But again, just the spamminess of this thing is insane. For moves that I should have just thrown the Crunch to take it out. They survive with a couple HP, but that's on me. I should have thrown the Crunch to take it out. So I do end up shielding. And I'm going to bank this energy. I know I'm doing exactly opposite of what I just said you should be doing. I took Bubbles neutral on Drapion instead of resistant on Chesnaught, and I'm coming in to take a super effective Ice Beam. I know that. I just wanted to get energy banked on Drapion, basically sacrificing this. They decide to sacrifice their Azumarill, which is fine by me. It's an Umbreon in the back. So I will throw this Frenzy. And then probably a superpower, and then between Qwilfish and Drapion having energy. Drapion with energy, and then Qwilfish. I wouldn't be surprised if I shield. Yeah, I have energy, as long as they don't get caught on here. I have energy, and I've got 2 Darks in the back. I mean, Drapion's basically done, but I've got 2 Darks in the back. It's not like they're going to be able to throw much here, so now it's just Poison Jab, Aqua Tail versus Last Resort, I'm guessing. Nope, they are running Psychic. Which, again, with so many Clodsires and stuff, it's not a bad idea. Well, although with a lot of Malamars, I don't know if you really want to do that. I understand the Psychic on the Umbreon because of Clodsire, but there's also Malamars everywhere, and that would triple resist your Psychic. Well, no, you could throw Foul Play, though, because it's half Psychic, half Dark, so Foul Play would be neutral. Never mind. You can just throw Foul Play on Malamar. Yeah, Foul Play on Malamar and Psychic on Clodsire. Not a bad strategy. Anyways, we're not talking about Umbreon. We're talking about Drapion. I love it. I think number 2 rank safe swap is exactly where it should be. For Alligator, obviously, in the 2 shield as a safe swap is insane. So most people will just run for Alligator as a safe swap. But I would be very, very, very comfortable running Drapion as a safe swap and spamming the crap out of these moves. Shadow, again, what makes Drapion, you need to use the Shadow, unfortunately, just because if you're using it as a safe swap, its strength is getting to moves quickly, and its stat product is fine overall. Here's the thing with the stat product, and I already closed my thing, so I can't bring it back up. But here's the thing about the stat product and why, like, yes, you need Shadow. A lot of the time people ask me, like, does Shadow matter, yes or no? And most of the time it does not matter. Certain situations, it matters. Shadow Machamp, it matters. Shadow Drapion, Shadow Bombasnow, it matters. Shadow Drapion, it matters. And here's why. With your stat product being at like the 118, and then like okay defense and okay stamina. If you have that stat product alone, like I said, think of Quagsire and Sableye. You fit that role of your charge moves aren't going to take them out, and their first charge move is not going to take you out, but their second charge move will. But on the other end, if you just have a Crunch from a Drapion, that Crunch times 2 is probably not going to take out most Pokemon from the non-Shadow. So you probably need like 2 crunches and an Aqua Tail, or even 3 crunches sometimes from a non-shadow. From the shadow, you can definitely get away with like 2 crunches on most things. So with that extra shadow bonus on top of like the stab, same type attack bonus to really bring up the crunch, you just basically need that extra damage to make the crunch and Aqua Tail useful. And again, why other Pokemon get by without it is because I mentioned Sableye and I mentioned Quagsire. Most of the time you're running a second like sort of nuke on that, right? Most people run Stone Edge on Quagsire. Most people run Return or now Power Gem on Sableye. So you have really a hard hitting second move that you can offset with this. You don't really have like a nuke here. You got 2 very spammy, very good damage per energy moves here, but nothing like nuke-ish. So if you don't have a nuke with that stat product, it's probably not going to work out super well. It works out fine, right? The non-shadows rank like what, 10, 15 below the shadow. So it can work, but I just think that the shadow is going to be way better. But yeah, do not be surprised if you see Drapion on my teams later in the season when I'm trying to grind. We'll see what the meta shakes out to, because obviously with Clodsire everywhere, it may be a little tough. But if people are running like Malamar, coming in with Drapion that resists the foul plays and force them to throw superpower and resist the Psy Wave, it's not a bad option, right? And for Alligator, resisting the Shadow Claws on for Alligator, that's going to be everywhere. If people try to core break with like a Rangaroo and Hypno and stuff like that, you resist that. So I think that typing wise, because of its only weakness to ground and a bunch of its resistances, combined with the fact that Poison Sting is buffed and this thing is super spammy with Aqua Tail and Crunch, I think it's going to be very, very good. So you will definitely see it as a safe swap on my team in the future. So this afternoon we are doing... Yeah, so unlike this afternoon, so set your, I was going to say DVRs, set your reminders, hit that notification or whatever. Shadow a Marowak. No, I didn't use the shadow. Did I use the shadow? No shadow, but a Marowak. Where great that Fire Spin got boosted. Oh, I'm spoiling it already. Great that Fire Spin got boosted. Great that Bone Club got boosted. Fire Ghost is one of the crappiest typing combos for this new meta that has darks everywhere, grounds everywhere, rock rollout users everywhere, normal typing rollout users everywhere, or shadow bonus resisted. You'll see this afternoon. I had a really tough time running it because like you just get into a like I lost like every single lead, and sometimes I had all 3 Pokemon on the other team just like wall me because it was like a water double normal team or something like that. It's just like I have no, like I get nowhere to go here. So it was real, or like a Zoom roll double normal. It's just like there's so many things in this meta that kills me. So I was very disappointed. Anyways, check back this afternoon for that. Anyways, that is it. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.